It's that time of the month again where we here at ZXL drop you a batch of great games with even better platinums for you to go and earn on PSPlus Extra and Premium. Now, last month we did amazing games with easy platinums, so how many of those games did you pop into your trophy cabinet? Let us know in the comments. After that video was released, we asked you all what type of game you wanted us to look into for this month's episode. Nearly 200 of you voted in our poll, and almost half of you chose indie games to be our focus for August. You ask and you shall receive. We've got an awesome assortment of wacky and wonderful indie masterpieces for you today, from the grotesque to the glorious, from the comedic to the tragic. Here are the best indie games on PSPlus Extra and Premium right now. There really is a game for everyone in this list. Don't forget to save my pick of the month for last, so stick around to find out which is the creme de la creme for August's video. So let's go! The original release of Edith Finch did not in fact have a platinum trophy. Boo! Boo! You may remember my video on great games with no plat, but if not, here's a link, so check it out. It's not too shabby. But a re-released version of the game comes with one of those glorious, shiny digital accolades. It's almost as if the developers were actively apologising to fans for the original's lack of platinum prestige. Our bad kids, here's a free stack to plat as way of apology. Wonderful. Works for me. You play as the titular Edith Finch as she returns to her family home after many years away to investigate the secrets and mysteries that have left her all alone. As you progress through this walking simulator, you will discover the grim fates of each of Edith's lost relatives. A content warning for this game is pretty necessary as you are dealing with some truly tragic deaths, and they are not all elderly victims, or even adults. The gameplay is beautiful, as simple as you'd expect from a walking sim, but it is visually beautiful and very engaging. Edith Finch is a wonderful game that you can now platinum on PSPlus Extra with a 2 out of 10 difficulty and a 3-hour completion time. There are a million guides online to pick from, so go nuts. Just don't send me a psychiatry bill afterwards, okay? ZXL takes no responsibility for your trauma inflicted by the video games that he recommends. Warped in by Spanish developers, the Game Kitchen, glorious and grotesque Metroidvania Blasphemous is as hard as it is cool. And it is very, very fucking cool. Blasphemous is a 2D side-scroller with old-school graphics and gorgeously detailed environments. It is very much a niche game, and I imagine its target audience is pretty specific. With heavy inspirations from classic finger breakers like Shinobi, Comic Zone and Contra, Blasphemous, with an aesthetic From Software devs would be proud of, is definitely one for the more adventurous trophy hunters out there. Another indie game that begins with you awakening in a strange environment with all manner of fuckery going on around you. This time you are the penitent one, a silent and faceless warrior. Seeing a pattern here? This is literally the only reason Ghost Runner is not allowed on this list. After awakening from history's most violent orgy, you venture out to pay your final penance. Travelling through terrifying terrain and encountering all sorts of beasts, baddies and big-ass bosses, you will finally pay the debt of your guilt. The penitent one's guilt is his strength, his pilgrimage is his penance, but in the end, it is the will of the miracle to decide if his guilt is enough to earn him salvation. Blasphemous is a little bit spicy with a 7 out of 10 difficulty, 2 playthroughs and a 30-hour completion time. It is perfect for hard drive space savers, however, as it is only 3GB big. Of course, there was absolutely no chance that I was going to get through an entire list of great indie games on PS Plus without mentioning my favourite of all time, The Forgotten City. Oh yes, I know I mentioned this game too much, but guess what? I don't give a fuck. It's a wonderful, wonderful game and I want everyone in the world to play it. Forgotten City is another walking sim, but with a twist. It's set in a roguelite-like loop when you find yourself trapped in a mysterious city underground. I will leave this as a macro-quick bonus entry to this month's list, as I have covered it before, so if you want to know what is so brilliant about Forgotten City, you'll have to go watch that. Link in the video now and probably in the description if I remember. But a quick breakdown of this game's Telltale's Platinum. It is a 4-hour completion time. It will take you multiple playthroughs and you can play both PS4 and PS5 stacks on PS Plus Extra right now. Go play it, go plat it, you won't regret it. Now, I first heard about this game when Deadman was bludgeoning Platbro over the head with it during one of his live streams. Now, I love Deadman, but his gaming recommendations either go one of two ways. Either we have the best time of our lives with it, blasting and laughing our way to an ultra-rare platinum, or we get locked into a game that literally hurts to play it. It is so droll. But most of Deadman's suggestions are worth at least looking at. When Figer echoed our friend Deadman's enthusiasm for my friend Pedro, my interest was beyond piqued. It was time to check this weird little game out once and for all. And I am really glad I did. This may look like a bizarre point-and-click adventure like Chicken Police, but is actually a very smart, side-scrolling, tactical shooter that demands you solve the problem of each level as opposed to just rushing in and shooting everyone willy-nilly. This is enforced by the Platinum, which requires you to S-rank every level of the game, something you can't do with a come-in blasting kind of approach. You awaken with no face and no name to find a talking banana claiming to be your best friend and leading you through a criminal layer, informing you that you have to kill these arms dealers and general bad men. The gameplay is fantastic and highly addictive. If you enjoy things like Hotline Miami or Ghost Runner, this is right up your street. It's a 2D puzzle-based shooter that does require quite a bit of skill to platinum. A 5 out of 10 difficulty and a 25-hour completion time, my friend Pedro could be your next ultra-rare platinum trophy. It's on PSPlus right now. Probably the quirkiest game on this list is a point-and-click animal noir detective game where you play as a humanoid chicken caught in the middle of a clucking conspiracy. I'll see myself out. With nods to classic noir films of the 50s all the way up to arguably the last great film noir, Chinatown, Chicken Police is a quirky, fun, intriguing, and kind of fascinating game. Inspired by a YouTube video about two chickens breaking up a fight, Paint It Red is a rather unique entry to the PSPlus Extra catalogue. The game was a critical success with an 82 Metacritic score and a 7.9 user score. The game was so loved that it already has a sequel in production aiming at a mid-2024 release, entitled Into the Hive. Certainly one crew and I will have on pre-order after the fun we had with Paint It Red. The best part of Chicken Police was the interrogation mini-games. As you investigate the mystery you and your reluctant partner Marty are in the centre of, you will have to find clues and piece things together to start determining your most likely suspects. Mostly, this is really simple and maybe even a tad boring, but the interviews and interrogations are great fun as you try to find the best way to crack your suspect. Chicken Police Paint It Red is on PS Plus Extra right now and has a 2 to 3 hour completion time with a 2 out of 10 difficulty. It is an absolute monochrome delight with splashes of exciting colour. Imagine a PG-13 Sin City with animals for leads. Yeah, that seems like an apt comparison. Survival Simulator Journey to the Savage Planet is a bizarre and bonkers sci-fi game from Typhoon Studios. Now, there seems to be a big story about the rights to Journey to the Savage Planet sequel, but I haven't looked into it, so if anyone can tell me the full story, shout me out in the comments and let me know. It seems quite interesting. Your employer, Kindred Aerospace, has sent you to begin colonization on unexplored planet ARY-26. And as an employee of the fourth best interstellar exploration company, Kindred Aerospace expect you to do this with absolutely no supplies or support. This comedic critique of capitalism runs deep into the game's story and actively extends into the gameplay. But with a 3D printer, some area scanning droids and a helpful AI assistant, you actually do have everything you need to explore your new surroundings, complete your assignment, repair your ship, and get the fuck home. Journey to the Savage Planet is a 15 to 20 hour platinum with a 4 out of 10 difficulty and can be stacked, as PS Plus Extra has both the PS4 and PS5 versions of the Employee of the Month edition. As promised, the best has been saved by last, or at least my favourite has been. My pick this month is Indy Souls-like Bloodborne clone Thymesia, developed by Overborder Studios and is the second entry on this list to be published by Team 17. As Corvus, you will traverse 12 levels of aggressive enemies, difficult bosses and horrifying sights as you uncover your missing memories. Aesthetically, the game takes influence from Bloodborne, and even Corvus could be mistaken for a well-crafted hunter avatar. In terms of gameplay, especially combat, the Sekiro influence can be felt as learning enemy movesets and weaknesses is key to parrying your way to victory. Armed with a saber, a set of claws Wolverine would be proud of, and up to 3 plague weapons for special attacks, you will have to find altars to save your progress and use your accrued XP to level up. The level select means there are no missables. Each level has 2 or 3 side missions that you can enter completely separately from the main story mission. I personally found this fantastic as it meant I could focus on the mission at hand and then go back to the side stuff without getting lost over and over again. I say this because, like all Souls and Souls-likes, Thymesia is a well-constructed maze that very much feels like Yharnam's foreign twin town, albeit quite a bit smaller. Bosses vary in size, skill set and difficulty, but your build will likely determine how easy you find the majority of this game. A simple but rather oversized skill tree gives too many options, and in several cases, skills seemingly overlap with each other to little gain for your playstyle. This platinum is relatively short at 15 to 20 hours, but there is a bit of grinding and a few tricky trophies. Now, despite the mega hung chads at PSMP rating it as a 4 out of 10 difficulty, I would argue that This only applies to Souls bets, as I'm having a 6 out of 10 experience with it myself. There you have it, a bunch of exceptional games with great platinum trophies for you to chew through on PS Plus Extra and Premium right now. What do you think of these games? Have you platted any of them already? Are you going to platinum any in the future? Any amazing indies on PS Plus that I didn't mention and that I should be hung on and quartered for forgetting? Let me know in the comments. I am Zach, she is Crew, this is ZXL. Be good to each other.